Hello, my friends, and welcome to a brand new Realm News Flash. I am your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in Realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I hope you are all having a wonderful week wherever you are. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024, and we have some major news to cover in a short amount of time. In today's Realm News Flash, I will talk about the latest drops to join the Pale Garden biome, which is due to release this winter. I will go over the resin, Eyeblossom Flowers, and bundles. Then we will transition over to Minecraft's latest YouTube video released on October 27th, which was called Story of the Illagers. We will then wrap up the episode by informing you on this Tuesday's Part 2 Halloween special, The Making of a Bokor. Much is going on at Mojang recently, and it doesn't seem to stop. So let's begin the show and get caught up on the news. I would like to first start this segment by telling you that November 7th will be the release of a new episode titled An Exclusive Discussion with Michael TBH, where we will discuss in depth all the new drops from the September 28th Minecraft Live event. We will also discuss resin and eyeblossoms in that discussion, along with bundles and hardcore mode. I will not be discussing hardcore mode in today's episode. I tell you all this in case you think I am being brief on reporting on some of these new items today. I am keeping it brief since it is a news flash and because we will talk about it more in an upcoming episode. With that said, I would like to tell you about the new items coming to the Pale Garden, resin and the eyeblossom. Let's start with the resin. The Eyeblossom, alongside with resin, were both announced in the same Minecraft.net article on October 23, 2024, written by Sophie Austin. This announcement made by Mojang shook the Minecraft community. No one saw this coming. There were no indicators of these two additional items being announced, a day after bundles were released on Bedrock and Realms. And better yet, there were no leaks made prior to this announcement. Resin is formed as what is called resin clumps in the game. These resin clumps are the result of a distress creaking, meaning that if you start to swing your weapon and attempt to cause damage to the creaking will not only emit those orange particles which indicate the approximate location of the creaking heart, but it will also cause the creaking heart to stress, leading to the production of resin on nearby pale oak trees. These little orange resin clumps are found on the bark of the pale oak tree. If you see the resin, you can then remove it from the tree with your bare hands. In fact, you will want to obtain a bunch of this resin because not only does it look aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but you can use this resin to form resin blocks, which in turn can be crafted into all sorts of items, which include the creaking heart. Yes! We learned that the creaking heart is now craftable, which is fantastic news because Silk Touch is a hard enchantment to come by for many of us, including myself. So now we can make it with 2 pale oak logs and 1 resin block. You can make 1 resin block with 9 resin clumps. According to Minecraft.wiki, we will also be able to craft resin bricks. Resin bricks are made by putting resin clumps in a furnace. 1 resin clump equals 1 resin brick. These then can be used to make resin brick block, resin stairs, resin slabs, resin brick walls, and chiseled resin bricks. Tongue twister. You will be able to essentially make an entire house out of the resin if so desired. I know that I will be using resin as soon as it comes to the overworld. It has a beautiful orange color. It resembles amber and it will complement many of my deep slate structures that I have throughout my realm. Reach me at bio.link/realmnews and tell me how you feel about the new resin clump. Moving on to the Eyeblossom Flower. The Eyeblossom Flower, which was announced in the same Minecraft.net article, and it is a very unusual flower in the game. It is unlike any other that you have seen. It remains closed during the daylight hours and it opens during night. When it opens, it presents a glowing orange eye, the same type of eye that the creaking has. These ominous eyeblossom flowers communicate to one another. When one opens, it alerts others to start to open up and look as well, as if it is all part of one living organism. Any theories? Besides the peculiar behavior that these flowers exhibit, they can serve a couple purposes, such as they can be used for two different dye colors. When closed and plucked out of the ground, you can use the eye blossom to make a pale gray dye. When plucked while open, they can be used to create an orange dye. I thought that was just a cool idea by Mojang. Also, they used this binary concept and applied it to the suspicious stew. The eye blossom, depending on if it was taken while open or closed, will either produce a blinding effect or nausea effect when made in suspicious stew. I am personally super excited for these two items to join Minecraft. I will be making future episodes going further in depth over these as well. And as I had already stated, November 7th, you will hear Michael TBH and I talk about that. Also, quick caveat, do not let bees near these eyeblossom flowers. They are poisonous to them. The eyeblossoms pollen will harm them. I would like to now move on to another major event that had happened within the past week. Bundles of Bravery. Bundles of Bravery has finally arrived to Minecraft Bedrock Edition and to Realms, and they are amazing. Well, that's my personal opinion. The bundle released the same day as Hardcore Mode released. The bundle was developed by Mojang in order to help alleviate the game's inventory problem. As you are all aware, it is very easy to fill up all of your inventory slots while exploring and crafting in the overworld and the other two dimensions, the nether and the end. The bundle is Mojang's answer to that problem, or at least a way to help manage inventory problems. The bundle is also a very economical tool to craft. It only requires one leather hide and one string. Put those together and you have a bundle, which is capable of holding up to a max number of 64 items. Each bundle has 64 slots available. So in theory, you can store 64 individual items in one bundle. Let me tell you, these have already saved me a ton of space in my chests and on-hand inventory. The developers were not kidding when they said during the Minecraft Live event that it would free up an average of 8 slots. Also, these bundles are very customizable. We have the ability to dye the bundles in a range of 16 colors. You can personalize these bundles and gift them to your friends. Or you can create a color code system for organizing bundles. This is something that I am considering. As I said, I am a fan of the bundle. Since they have released, I have made several of them, and I keep 4 on hand at all times, just for testing their functionality in real time, and they have not let me down. I am carrying so many useful items that I was not able to carry on hand before. I never realized how many random items we picked up before the bundle was released. Spider eyes, chicken eggs, feathers, leather, random flowers, seeds, random blocks while mining. All of these and much more can now go into my bundle. I love it. I am happy that the developers were inspired by the ancient real-world Roman coin purse and decided to put that into the game. I know that people were upset that it took 4 years since they said they were going to put them in Bedrock, but it is here now and I think they are great. Next, on Realm News Flash, Mojang released a new video specifically over the Illager. The video is titled Story of the Illager, and they began by telling us the etymology of the name Illager. The name Illager derives from ill-built villager. Then it was morphed into ill villager. They then decided to drop the V and combine the two words to form Illager, which sounds so much better than the previous two. We also find out why the Illager has gray-colored skin. Apparently, it is due to them being ill or sick, hence the name Illager. But this raises another question. What are they sick from or ill from? War? Disease? A heavy conscience? Who knows? But it is fascinating to know that they are gray from illness. perhaps it is the pale garden disease. It was also fascinating to learn that the Illager concept was inspired from the spin-off Minecraft game Dungeons in 2016. That same year, they were officially introduced into the overworld in the Explore update, where they were initially placed in woodland mansions. But Mojang expanded the Illagers' presence by creating pillager outposts and raids on villages. These new concepts and the Illagers' expanded presence were put into action in the 2019 Village and Pillage update. A couple interesting random facts about Illagers. The Ravager was inspired by a mythological creature called a manticore, which was a beast that walked on all fours and with an animal body and human head. It had a similar appearance to the Egyptian Sphinx. Another fascinating fact, the Evoker, while it casts its spells, makes the exact same incantation as the sorcerer from the game called Age of Empires. And pillagers making their unique sounds, they were based originally, the pillagers, were supposed to originally be pirates, eye patch and all. Obviously, they ditched the eye patch and the swashbuckling attire, but they kept the sounds, the pirate sounds that they still emit to this day. I thought that was all just very interesting to learn, and I really enjoyed that video. You all should go check that out. I'll leave that in the show description, the link for that. Just click on it. It has me thinking, what is the cause for the Illagers being sick, as I said before? And exactly what war are they fighting? Perhaps we will find out more from future drops that could potentially help answer these questions. Mojang did say that they have big plans for the Illagers' future, so expect to see more on them in the future. Realm News will be here to report on any of those drops and that news. If you have theories on Illagers, please let me know at my subreddit called Realm News. There you will find a post at the header where you can drop your own theory and thoughts. With that said, it is time to move on to this upcoming Thursday's episode. This Thursday, we are celebrating Halloween with Realm News' Part 2, The Making of a Bokor. I will not go over last week's episode. I do not want to spoil it for those who have not heard Part 1. But we left off on a cliffhanger that you will not want to miss. So far, I have had some great positive feedback from people who have listened to Part 1 last Thursday. This tells me that you all enjoy these type of stories. So I will craft another one for you all in the somewhat near future, perhaps a story for Christmas time. I do not have much more to say about Part 2, The Making of a Bokor, but I would like to tell you some upcoming episodes that you can anticipate hearing in November. November 7th is an exclusive discussion with Michael TBH, where we will discuss Resin, Eyeblossoms, the Pale Garden, the Creaking Heart, Pale Oak Wood Set, and much, much, much more. Then, November 14th is Overworld Stew, Rabbit Stew, Mushroom Stew, Beetroot Stew, and Suspicious Stew. I know, I need to retitle that. It's a mouthful. But that is a really fun episode, and you will learn a lot about the real-world history of stew and the fascinating history of stew in Minecraft. It was truly interesting. Also, Suspicious Stew. I will teach you everything you will need to know about this. Then, on November 21st, I am releasing an episode over bundles, the history of the Roman coin purse, and more. Also, how to use bundles in the overworld effectively. Those are a few future episodes that you can expect from Realm News in November. From resin to new Illager speculations and information, bundles of Bravery to Eyeblossom Flowers, there was a lot to report on today, and I have a feeling that I will continue to have plenty to say in future Realm News Flash episodes. Mojang, with their new drop format, has been making news daily. No complaints here. I just wish I had more time in the day to cover it all. I hope you are all excited for the new items to come out with the Pale Garden sometime this upcoming winter. Upcoming winter. It's right around the corner, folks. And I hope that you are all enjoying the newly dropped bundles. As I said, I think they're great. I wish you all a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you all this upcoming Thursday, where we will conclude the making of a Bokor. The Dark Lord, signing out. Hello, Minecraftians. Thank you so much for listening to Realm News. It means the world to me that you enjoy the show that much that you tune in every week to hear how I put the real in Realm and expand your mind one block at a time. Well, if you really enjoy this podcast and want to express it further, then you can contribute by simply following the show by clicking that follow button, or write a review and rate the show, or do all three of those. I love the feedback, and that would help me get to my goal of 100 followers. You can even go a step further by making a monetary donation to support the show by going to bio.link/realmnews, all lowercase. Again, that's bio.link/realmnews. And click on that Ko-Fi button and buy me a coffee. You can donate as little as $1. The money really does go a long ways, folks, and helps perpetuate the show. I have plans to create a website so Realm News can be more accessible and interactive with our amazing community that is amassing. All is appreciated, truly, and happy crafting.